The shock from the sound of the bell and drum cliff to Yunhaizong was unprecedented. Just when they thought that the sound of the bell and drum was the last sound, the next sound of the bell and drum would be transmitted again. When the sound of the seventh bell and drum sounded, the Cloud Sea sect was quiet, only the holy voice lasted for a long time. The crowd of Yunhaizong even gave birth to a wonderful feeling, as if there was only the sound of the bell and drums that shook the soul in this world. Nangong Ling stood with his hands behind his back, looking in the direction of Tianmoya Cliff. His robe swayed in the breeze, and around him, Mo Kanglin, Mo Xia, Yunhaizong disciples, even Chu Zhamping and Lin Qian all looked in that direction. Gives a dreamy feeling, it seems to be on a pilgrimage. Tianmoya Cliff, in the lonely peak stone cave, the black-robed old man stood there, looking up at the top, with a bit of solemnity in his eyes. The black-robed old man guards the cliff. In the Yunhai sect, few people even know of his existence. However, even if the sect master Nangong Ling sees him, he will politely call out Kong Lao. He saw that Lin Feng was only at the 8th level of Qi and martial realm, and his martial spirit seemed to be very weak, so he put him into the most difficult test. Yes, Lin Feng rang the sound of the bell and drum of the cliff just by virtue of his weak cultivation. What shocked Lao Lao even more was that the sound of the bells and drums, one after another, long and long, enveloped the world of the Cloud Sea sect. At this moment, the seventh sound had been sounded. In the 1,000-year history of Yunhaizong, no one has ever created such a miracle. Moving his footsteps, Kong Lao stepped into the passage leading to the bell and drum cliff, followed the steps of the passage and went up step by step, with a solemn expression as if waiting for the sound of the 8th bell and drum. At this moment, above the cliff, the sword chi is still vertical and horizontal, but the sword chi at this moment is no longer raging at will, but moves with the long sword in Lin Feng's hand, and the sword chi is invincible. Potential, the direction of the sword, annihilates everything. Lin Feng had a slight smile on his face. These 8-sided bells and drums are extremely wonderful. It seems that the only way to break its momentum is to overwhelm the strong rebound of the bells and drums. Only a power attack can make the bell sound, just like Lin Feng engraved in this way. The momentum of the sword is used to attack it with a sword that is stronger than the momentum of the rebound, and it will sound. Today, I have already struck the 7th bell and drum. In addition to this last one, the 8 sides are ringing in unison. It should be regarded as a perfect pass for the test of the bell and drum cliff. Lin Feng secretly said in his heart. It is the simplest test of the scratch cliff. The long sword was activated, and the chilling sword energy merged into one, and the long sword was swollen with cold light. Give me a ring. With a loud shout, the sword energy turned into a bright streamer, slamming towards the last bell and drum. K. The sound of the 8th bell and drum trembled in the sky above Yunhaizong. After a long time, the martial spirit behind Lin Feng disappeared, and he sat down directly and then lay on the ground. In this way, I should be able to get the medicine pill and treat Han Man's injury. Lin Feng, who had exhausted all his strength, showed a bright smile on his face. The sound of rumbling came, I saw the stone wall opened, and a figure walked out from it. It was the black-robed old man. Seeing the black-robed old man, Lin Feng climbed up again. He asked the old man, "Senior, have I passed the test? Can I get the medicine I need?" Kong Lao was stunned when he saw the clean smile in Lin Feng's eyes, and then a strange emotion appeared in his heart that had not fluctuated for a long time. Perhaps Lin Feng himself did not realize what he had done. What he wanted was not the unprecedented honor. It's just an elixir, used to treat a friend's injury. Of course you can. The black-robed old man nodded, took out a bottle of medicinal pills from his body, and threw it to Lin Feng. There are some healing pills in it, one is enough to treat your friend's injury, as for the rest, you keep it for yourself, maybe you can use it later. Thank you, Senior. Lin Feng was a little surprised. According to the black-robed old man's understanding, one medicinal pill was enough to treat Han Man's injury, so the preciousness of this medicinal pill was obvious, but the other party gave him a bottle, but Lin Feng didn't either. If you suspect the black-robed old man, do you need to use this method to deceive him by virtue of his identity and strength? This is what you deserve for passing the test, but what you need to remember is that you should not mention the matter of passing the bell and drum cliff test to anyone. Kong Lao ordered, and Lin Feng played with the 8th level of Qi and martial arts. 8 faced bells and drums. No matter how Lin Feng did it, there is no doubt that Lin Feng's talent for breaking the history of Yunheizong is unquestionable, and Lao Lao does not want Lin Feng to be targeted by people who care. In Shuiwei Kingdom, there seems to be a lot of sects secretly hunting down outstanding disciples of other sects who have outstanding talents, but have not yet grown up, and today's Lin Feng rang the bell of the rise of Yunheizong, which will undoubtedly make him become the first target that some sects want to hunt. Okay. Although Lin Feng didn't know what the black-robed old man wanted him to do, he still nodded. The old man in black robe raised his head and said to the distance, "Old man Bei, take him back." Lin Feng was stunned for a while. This is a cliff, and there is only a cliff in the mountains as far as he can see, but the black-robed old man obviously can't talk to the air. "Okay, old ghost, you can go back." A voice came from the cliff in the mountain. Lin Feng raised his head, and immediately saw a black dot jumping down from the sky. This black dot has a pair of huge wings, snow-white dreamy wings. It was actually the wings of a crane. Martial Dao powerhouses are able to cross the sky and travel in the air. I didn't expect that there would be such powerhouses in Yunheizong. Lin Feng was fascinated, and immediately felt a hurricane sweeping towards him, making him almost unable to stand firm. Flying sand and gravel, the figure of the crane descended on the cliff. Lin Feng's pupils condensed slightly. It was him. The figure that appeared here, Lin Feng knew, was actually the old man who guarded the pavilion of Xingchen Pavilion. At this moment, the old man who was guarding the pavilion still had a bit of a decadent and lazy look, and the light in his eyes flickered, and there was a faint aura of swallowing dragons and snakes. The people who guard Xingchen Pavilion are indeed extraordinary. At this time, Lin Feng strengthened his guess even more. "Kid, let me introduce to you, this old ghost is one of the guardians of Yunheizong. You can call him Kong Lao. As for me, I am a guardian of the sect like him. You can call me Bei Lao." The old man's mood seemed to be extraordinarily good. The guardians of the sect have an extraordinary position in the sect, and even if the sect master sees them, he will be polite. And those who can become guardians are far more loyal to the sect than others can match. In their hearts, only the sect. Lin Feng knocked on the wall and the 8 bells and drums. How can Bei Lao be unhappy? Lao Bei and Lao Kong. Lin Feng smiled at the two of them. The 2 guardians of the sect should be regarded as the top of the sect. Kong Lao nodded silently, then turned around and walked towards the stone wall. After a while, the stone wall opened, and Kong Lao's figure disappeared into the darkness. This old ghost stays in that hole every day. It's rare to say a word for a few days, and it's become a habit to be indifferent. Bei Lao shook his head and pulled Lin Feng. "Let's go too." The ghost of the crane's martial soul reappeared, and a hurricane passed through the space. Lin Feng only felt his body rise into the air. Looking at the nothingness under his feet, Lin Feng had a dreamy feeling. Things soar in the sky. However, in Jiushou continent, powerful forces can make warriors look down on the world.